In this video, I'm going to explain about the management interfaces like SSH, XML, and also SNMP. About the SSH, NixOS supports SSH server and SSH client. Use SSH server to enable an SSH client to make a secure encrypted connection to a Cisco NixOS device. SSH uses a strong encryption for authentication. The SSH server in Cisco NixOS software can interoperate with publicly and commercially available SSH clients. The user authentication mechanisms supported for SSH are remote authentication dial-in user services or radius and terminal access controller access control system plus or TACACS plus, and the use of locally stored username and password. In this video, I am going to show you locally stored username and password method of authentication. The SSH client application enables the SSH protocol to provide device authentication and encryption. The SSH client enables a Cisco NixOS device to make a secure encrypted connection to another Cisco NixOS device or to any other device that runs the SSH server. SSH requires server keys for secure communication to the Cisco NixOS device. You can use SSH server keys for the following SSH options. SSH version 2 using Rivest, Shamir, and Adelman or RSA, that I will show you this method, public cryptography, and SSH version 2 using the digital system algorithm or actually DSA. Be sure to have an SSH server key pair with the appropriate version before allowing the SSH service. You can generate the SSH server key pair according to the SSH client version used. The SSH service accepts two types of key pairs for use by SSH version 2. Okay. First, the DSA option generates the DSA key pair for the SSH version 2 protocol, and the RSA option generates the RSA key pair for the SSH version 2 protocol. In this video, we will see the SSH version 2 with RSA, okay, as maybe you remember it in the CCNA course. By default, Cisco NixOS software generates an RSA key using 1024 bits, but you can increase it to, for example, 2048 bits. And SSH supports the following public key formats: Open SSH and also IETF Secure Shell or SECSH. Maybe you want to know a little more about these actually terms, but don't forget, here we are reviewing some topics. We don't want to explain the detail of, for example, OpenSSH. Only you should know that SSH supports the following public key formats, these two formats, for example. Okay, actually, here I'm going to show you how you can configure SSH, but if you want, you can gather more information about the SSH in NixOS devices. Let me to show you the configuration. It is very easy. You know that we can enable the feature SSH. After that, we can for example, configure username and password, and then SSH key lengths. Okay, and also if you want, you can see the key. And finally, I want to show you how you can connect from your computer to NixOS device with the actually SSH. All right, this is our simple scenario, and here we have a PC and we have one NixOS switch, and I connected the PC to the management 0 interface because I want to show you this interface function also. You can assign the IP address. The range is 192.168.10/24, and I configured 192.168.120/24 on the PC. Let me to configure the NixOS device. Before configuration, here you can see the commands we need. First, we need to enable the feature SSH with feature SSH command, and then SSH key RSA, the key length value. And after that, you can see the SSH key, and you can see that SSH server is enabled or not, and also the users that you define. Let me to configure it. You will learn here. This is our command line. First, we need to enable the feature SSH. Look at here. It is possible that feature SSH is enabled by default in your device, but you can check it. For example, with the show feature, and then include SSH server. Okay, it is disabled. First, we can use this command, feature, okay, feature, and then SSH. That's it. And after that, we need to configure, first we need to configure the SSH key RSA, SSH key RSA. And after that, for example, 2048. Okay, this is generating RSA key, and then feature SSH, feature SSH. Okay, let me to configure feature SSH. Okay, now this feature is enabled. Also, let me to show you our key. You can use show SSH key. Look at here. This is our key. We generated it with the 2048 bits length. Also, let me to check show SSH server status. It is enabled. SSH version 2 is enabled. Also, you need to configure username and password. For example, username my name, and after that password. Okay, and for example Cisco 123, and after that exclamation. Okay, this is our username and password. And also you can check the username, show user, then account, user dash account. Here you can see that we have two user, admin, and also this user. Okay, now let me to try to connect SSH connection from the PC to the NXOS. Also, don't forget to assign IP address to MGMT0, interface MGMT0, IP address 192.168.1, for example 20 slash or 20 is the IP address of the Windows PC. For example, we can use 25/24. Okay, and no shutdown. After that, let me to go to the PC. This is our PC. First, we need to check that we have connectivity to the NXOS 192.168.125. Okay, as you can see, we have connectivity. And after that, let me to try to establish SSH connection from PC. This is SSH. The IP address is 192.168.125. Okay, open. Okay, yes, and then log in as with the username of, for example, Arash, my name, and then the password. This is our password. Okay. All right, now let me to explain a little about the extended markup language or XML management interfaces. Actually, NXOS has a robust XML management interface which can be used to configure the entire switch. The interface uses the XML-based network configuration protocol or netconf that enables you to manage devices and communicate over the interface with an XML management tool or a program. Netconf is based on RFC 4741, and the NXOS implementation requires you to use a secure shell or SSH session for communication with the device. Netconf is implemented with an XML schema or XSD that enables you to enclose device configuration elements within a remote procedure call or RPC message. From within an RPC message, you select one of the netconf operations that matches the type of command that you want the device to execute. You can configure the entire set of CLI commands on the device with netconf. The XML management interface does not require any additional licensing. XML management is included with no additional charge. An XML netconf can be enabled via a Web 2 version 0 AJAX browser application that uses XML netconf to pull all statistics of all interfaces on the Nexus switch running NixOS in a dynamically updating table. This figure demonstrates a sample output from the XML netconf interface, but you will learn more than this about the XML in your practical working with Nexus switches. The next management interface is SNMP, or Simple Network Management Protocol. Here, I'm not going to explain about the SNMP detail. Actually, we are talking about the NixOS features in this course. Because of that, I'm going to review SNMP, and after that, how we can enable or configure SNMP on the NixOS. Actually, the Simple Network Management Protocol, or SNMP, is an application layer protocol that provides a message format for communication between SNMP managers and agents. SNMP provides a standardized framework and a common language used for the monitoring and management of devices in a network. SNMP has different versions such as SNMP version 1, version 2, and version 3. Each SNMP version has different security models or levels. Most enterprise customers are looking to implement SNMP version 3 because it offers encryption to pass management information or traffic across the network. The security level determines if an SNMP message needs to be protected and authenticated. Various security levels exist within a security model. First, no authentication, no privacy. Security levels that does not provide authentication and also encryption. Then, authentication, no privacy. This is security level that provides authentication but does not provide encryption. And then, authentication, privacy. This security level provides both authentication and also encryption. Cisco NixOS supports the following SNMP standards. SNMP version 1. SNMP version 1 has simple community string-based access, means simple password. SNMP version 2C or version 2 community. RFC 2575 based group access that can be tied with RBAC model. Okay, and then SNMP version 3. It enables for two independent security mechanisms. Authentication means hashed message authentication leveraging either secure hash algorithm or SSH version 1 or message digest 5 MD5 algorithm, and also encryption with data encryption standard or DES as the default and advanced encryption standard or AES to ensure secure communication between NMS or network management system station and the NixOS device. Both mechanisms are implemented in our scenario in this video. As NixOS is truly modular and highly available, the NixOS implementation of SNMP supports stateless restart for SNMP. Actually, NixOS has also implemented virtualization support for SNMP. NixOS supports one instance of SNMP per virtual device context or VDC, means per actually virtual device. SNMP is also VRF aware, which allows you to configure SNMP to use a particular VRF to reach the network management host. Alright, now I'm going to show you how we can enable SNMP version 3 on NixOS. You need to define SNMP server user, and after that the NMS information, for example IP address and the authentication. They pass for read-only access, they pass for read-write access. Okay, it is very easy. Let me to show you. First, SNMP server, I'm going to define the SNMP server user, and after that user, the name of user, for example my name, and the authentication method can be SSH or MD5, for example SSH. The key, this is the key, okay. And after that, the encryption privacy. You can define AES, advanced encryption standard, or use default status. Let me to use default. And after that, the key, for example, this key again, and that's it. This is SNMP server user. After that, the IP address of the NMS, SNMP server host, okay, 192.168.120. And after that, here we need to use, we have different options. For example, I want to send trap or inform. You know that trap is when you send trap, you don't receive any acknowledgement. When you send inform, you will receive acknowledgement. Let me to use informs. And after that, the version 3, okay, and also authentication key. This is the authentication key for sending informs or traps to the NMS. Actually, when you send information to the NMS should authenticate the NXOS with this key. For example, this is the key that we defined before in the NMS. Okay, let me to use NMS. This is, or any other name, NMS pass. Okay. And after that, the read-only access and read-write access to this device can be configured with different, actually, keys. Let me to use SNMP server community and a pass. For example, here we have any key you can use, for example, public. Okay, and then read-only. This is the key for read-only access, and the key for read-write access, SNMP server community, for example, any key private. Okay, and then read-write. That's it. Now, if you want, you can check the SNMP, show SNMP status. Here we have the SNMP status. Okay, many information are available here. Community private, about our configuration, private for read-write and public. And also here you can see the SNMP user configuration. We have configured one user and some other information. They are related to SNMP, okay? And also, if you want, you can use show SNMP user. Show SNMP user. Here we have information specific to SNMP user. You know that in show SNMP we have this information. Also, you can save the configuration with copy running config to a startup config.